going on? What's going on? Get them. Age, city, gender. In the chat room. Keep it cool. Keep it respectable. Keep it cool. Keep it respectable. Years old from Chicago, 29 from Austin, 28 from Philly. I'm gonna spark a nerve. I'm gonna set a fire up in this mug. I'm gonna spark a nerve. You got a problem with the truth. All right. How we doing tonight, folks? How we doing? How are we doing? I hope everybody is well. Shout out to the CIA, the confident, intelligent, and assertive gentlemen out there. One love to the FBI, those feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies out there. Shout out to Blake Henry, Brad Lee, Ahmed Keith, Enrique, Brad Lee, Ahmed Keith and Enrique, high earner, not rich yet. Shout out to my blue Henrys, those brothers out there working with their hands, sweating in those work boots, making this country great. We're nothing without those men. Shout out to the young men, the Henrys in training. I call them the Hit Squad. So, as we get into tonight's program, I want you guys to remember, one, we need to get the likes up. We got to keep the like ratio up. I prefer 80%, but minimum it has to be 50% in order to keep the show going. 50% in order to keep the show going. Okay? When I look down and take a break from intermission, if those likes aren't over 50%, and if only one person has decided to throw something in Super Chat, Cash App, or PayPal, we drop down to intermission, and intermission looks like this. The lights go red, the music come up, and then we start talking. If we don't get the numbers up, if things go down, the lights go off, and everything continues. After that, the music stops, then the chat stops until it gets to where it needs to be. Let's not have that happen. Let's stay right where we need to be, keep the show going, because what I like to do is get all the way through the opening monologue, the presentation, and get directly into the question, answer, and the call portion, because that is going to be the best part. So, yes, y'all see what I asked. Swirler regret. Did she pick too soon? Did you pick too soon? I don't know. Did you pick too soon? I'm really trying to ask if some people pick too soon, because over here, we know good and damn well, brothers don't care about swirl folks and marrying out, interracial this, interracial that. I don't have those problems. I really don't. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. If you like it, I love it. Can't get enough of it. But you ever notice how sour some of these former sugar baby turned wives are? Have you ever noticed how sour some of these people who say they've married out and found, Brad? I've noticed that they still seem to find spaces and try to have the same old arguments from yesterday. In particular, that doggone Hunt over here, because I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But what I have noticed is, I think, well, first off, competitive men who are competitive, men who are out there doing the work, they don't have to fear any man, much less a white man. So what's going on, Brad? We have duked it out many a day in corporate America, and we're going to keep on fighting until the day is done. We both know Rocky was just a movie. If Rocky were real life, Apollo Creed would have broke his jaw. There wouldn't have been a Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. No. The last time you seen a heavyweight white champion from America? That's just fantasy. And there's another thing. You get a lot of these swirl people who should be happy as a wife or a girlfriend, whatever. But I've noticed the level of vitriol and the sourness. And the men don't have those problems. It tends to be the women who should have been gone on down the path. But what I'm also starting to hear from Brad is Brads of the world are starting to get tired of black women pedestalizing white men simply for being white. Go on YouTube and you will find dozens of videos from everyday white guys telling black women, knock it off. I'm a man just like Keith is. Stop putting me on a pedestal just because I am white. Matter of fact, Keith is a better man than me. I am really messed up, black woman. And if I were a black man with my credentials, you'd be talking about me. Go check it out. Go check it out. Go check it out. But what I want you guys to understand is there's a strain of swirler out there. Swirler just means there's a term for black women marrying white men or black women marrying non-black men. And there are a variety of people who talk about the concept. And again, I have no problem with these ladies. Go make your money, do your things. My only issue is you're supposed to be happy and have found the key to happiness. Why are you continuing to throw stones at black men? Or in particular, why are you throwing stones at black men, CIA, Henry kind of black men? Therein lies the rub, my friends. Therein lies the rub. You know, Honey Lemon, me and my brethren have heard this often. You look like the kind of black man that would marry a white girl. You look like the kind of black man who would only date white women. Black men, if you've heard that. Black men, if you've heard that, raise your hand. You look like the kind of black man who marry a white girl. How many times have we heard this? So at some point it gets down to and that's really meant to be a compliment. It's like, well, what are brothers supposed to do? Aren't you supposed to get out there and try to compete to become the best version of yourself? Aren't you supposed to get out there and do what you're supposed to do? But then you have black women, because swirling is a black concept, telling those very same high earning, not rich yet black men that you look like the kind of black man that would marry a white woman or be with a white girl. You be with Becky. And it's to the point to where brothers are like, well, damn, how is a black man supposed to win? You get out there, do your thing, separate yourself from the pack, compete and win, and still it's just not good enough. It seems like there's always an issue. And that's what I want to, that leads us up to a point that happened last night. These aren't transparent. A point that happened last night on my show. Last night on my show, if you were not here, you missed a doozy. I had a woman call in. And while she was calling in, the conversation took a strange turn. And what I've seen this play before. I've seen this picture before. I know what this is. Okay. But instead of me trying to explain it to you, it will be better if I let you hear it. So here we go. This is from last night's show. It takes about 15 minutes, and we're going to get into this because it'll start to explain stuff better than I ever could. If you see these guys on draft day sitting next to Becky, don't get mad because there are plenty of black women. I can hear you now. Here you go.
Oh, okay. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can. What do you got for me?
Okay, so...
Okay, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to close the YouTube channel in the background. Stop looking at YouTube. See, I still hear me. I still hear me. Close YouTube.
Okay, I closed it.
Okay, what do you got for me?
So my question for you was, you asked the question about, do women want to be a sugar baby or a wife?
Yes.
And my thing was, is there anything that would stand in the way of a woman being both?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. First thing, you got to be fine enough.
Well, okay, say that you do have the looks and you have the conversation.
Okay. Are we talking about you or are we talking about in general?
So for me, when I met my husband, I was a sugar baby when I met him.
Okay.
And I didn't approach him as a sugar baby, but I used the same techniques to make him fall in love with me. So that's why I was saying a woman can be both, in my opinion.
I never said they couldn't be. I said that some women, see right there, threw her for a loop because as you can tell, this woman is really not looking for a conversation. You can tell this woman did not come into this interaction in what I call good faith. She came in here loaded for bear, wanting to argue. Okay? Making up stuff. And I wasn't having it. Don't want to be a wife. They just want a man's money. And if you just want a man's money, be a sugar baby. Don't try to hustle and finesse him. That's what I said.
But sometimes relationships can...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you weren't finished.
Well, I was gonna say number two, and in order to be a sugar baby, you need to look good. I mean, if you used to sugar, I'm quite sure you've seen some women saying they want to be sugar babies who look like they were sweet and low or NutraSweet. You notice right there? At no point did she say, "Yeah, you're right. I've seen some women who really aren't sugar baby material wanting to be sugar babies." Nope. She was not going to give an inch. This is when you really start to notice that there's a problem.
Actually, in my experience, um, it seemed to me that the women who had the more unattractive features, but perhaps a banging body, but very good conversation, got the
The
most.
unattractive features. Right. Okay. What else were you gonna say?
So, one more thing. I actually currently started watching you, and another question that I had was, since it's okay for black men to compare black women to other races of women,
Mm.
do you think that it's fair for black women to judge where black men are status wise compared to other men?
What is, that's what she wanted to ask the entire time. Since black men are judging other black women, do you think it's fair for black women to judge black men? Everything else was just a pretense. And I wasn't biting because I heard these kind of women before. I know these women, but I'm not going to tip my hand just yet. Again, sugar, swirl of regret. Did she pick too soon? What does your husband have to say about it? What does your husband have to say about it? I always ask that question.
My husband's not black.
Regardless, what does he have to say about it? My husband's not black. Duh.
As far as what? The question I just asked you?
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a conversation that we have.
Why not? So you're married. You're supposed to share with your spouse. But questions about race, things that are so important to you, you don't, it's not a conversation you have. Why can't you have a conversation with him? Oh,
We spend our time on more important subjects.
well, I guess. But you're a married woman and you've been watching me. So it's important enough to take away from your more important time. So I would assume you could talk about that with him and ask him.
Well, I actually stumbled across your videos when I was looking
Stumbled.
for men's
Let me go ahead and cut to the chase, ma'am. The question you
okay.
asked me basically is black men judge women. Is it okay for black women to judge black men? Your sugar baby, which I have no problem with, and your sugar baby married to a white man?
He's Italian. He
White.
wouldn't say that he's
He's white.
white.
They always try to make their white guys sound exotic. They always try to make their they always they always try to make their white guys sound exotic. Where's Waldo, baby girl? You ever notice that all these so-called swirlers that are so happy and so elevated and married, you never seem to find Waldo. We know that means white. Rocky was white. So what you're asking is it okay for a black woman who's married to I don't care who you judge, but my question is, why do you care about any of this? You're married.
Well, the thing is, I just feel like I read a lot of your.
I just feel like, here it comes. She can't hold it back. I just feel like, what do you feel like, baby girl? What is it? Because apparently she just stumbled. You ever notice how women like this can never admit, I've been watching you for a long time. I've been watching you, and I've just worked up the nerve to call you. They always have to, I wasn't looking for you, black man. I wasn't looking for any of this. I just happened to stumble across it. As image and style goes, my channel hasn't even cracked 100,000, and you got people with multiple millions. But you just stumbled across me, and then you stumbled from Cologne all the way into 4-hour videos and 2-hour videos. Right. They just stumble over.
Your chat room and
How long you
your
been married?
comment section.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I gotta ask, ma'am. You're a married woman with children. Why are you in these spaces?
I actually found your channel when I was looking for ways to encourage my husband, like to find a new cologne and suits and things like that.
Which is good.
And then
those videos are perfect, but these. Is it like a guilty pleasure? You're just kind of peeking in and say, what's going on over there?
Yeah, I was being nosy.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Being nosy. Well, if you watch my video, I miss black men. You would know the question you asked me was disingenuous. Do I deal with black men who are lesser earning? What kind of men do I deal with here?
Well, no, I'm not saying that.
I'm just asking, if you watch my content, what caliber of men do I address here?
You address high earning men.
Right.
See?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Nosy. Well, if you watch my video, I miss black men. You would know the question you asked me was that. Yeah, that was the question. It was like, you're being nosy. How'd you find my channel? The reality is you missed this side. What caliber of men do I address here?
You address high earning men.
Right. So why would I? So as such, why would I have to make an argument regarding lower value or lower earning men if that's my target? All right, we are 42 minutes into it, and we have less than halfway of the likes. I told you guys, we're going to have to get the likes up. And we've only had, come on, because this is about to get good. Because now the swirlers, the regretful swirlers, the sweet and sour swirlers, they are starting to get the message that somebody is over here talking about swirling. And they got in here when swirl regret, they are going to come out of the woodworks. Come on, man. Need to get them up. You're going to hear they're going to be like, they're already starting to come out. Moderators, you need to be on lookout. We need to get the likes up to over 700. And we're going to need at least 5 more people to dump something in a donation. Because they're coming. You keep on talking. They're going to come over here and be talking. You ain't the one to blame.
Keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking to me. But I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move.
If you type in all caps, you will be blocked. Oh, we getting up there. Lights up.
Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling
We're gonna leave that sign lit right there. Where is it at? Where's Waldo? Where's he at?
me, see you move. I just wanna see you move.
Where Waldo? Where Waldo be, y'all? Where's Waldo? Where is he? Oh man. Oh, they're doing an update right now? Really? For all the times to be doing an update. All right. Well, that was good. So, have you guys ever met? Hey, Calvin K. Watch the language, man. Say what you got to say without the foul language, man. All right, fragrance test tube. You are banned on my channel. Oh man, so we're waiting for this update to go. Come on. Come on. God dog it. What is Swirler? What is Swirler, man? Y'all go do your homework, man. How y'all come into a conversation and ask questions and you don't even put them in super chat? Come on, man. Let's go ahead back with this.
You address high earning men.
Right. So why
But
would I? So why?
also-
So, as such, why would I have to make an argument regarding lower value or lower earning men if that's my target market? See, the way the question came across, ma'am, is if black men are going to have something to say about black women, it's always, well, black women should have something to say about black men. And I got to be honest, as a black woman who married out, it's kind of hard to hear that, especially when you're married with kids. It's like you got no dog in this fight. It's almost like women in your position just want to throw shit at black men. And I'm cool, but just say, you ever notice that? None of these women seem happy. Why are you on? You came for a fragrance video, and then you watched a bunch of videos, and then you went and read the comment section in the chat section, and then you call into a show. I thought you were married and happy. None of these women seem to be happy. Who's disliking this video? You know a lot of people don't dislike this.
No, I wouldn't say that I would want to throw anything at anyone. I was just stating that when you do talk to black men, they're quick to have excuses for the things that they lack in.
What black men are you talking to?
I mean, even before I was married to my husband, and
you've been married how long?
Dating.
You've been married how long?
I've been married for 7 years.
All right, ma'am. I gotta ask. You've been married for 7 years. What does conversations with black men making excuses 7, 8 years ago have to do with you right now? I'm curious.
Well, I was curious to the way that your whole thing is like set up to kind of
Now this woman came over here talking about she came looking for a fragrance video. But now she done dug all the way into my videos, my comment section, my chat rooms. Now she's over here just looking at that, just nosy. I'm just curious as to how all these things are just set up. Don't she sound like Karen? Don't she sound like a Karen? If she don't sound like a Karen, I don't know what does. I'm just noticing how all this is set up. Listen to that again.
Make the way that your whole thing is like set up to kind of make 5 and 6s and 7s feel like they don't have a chance with high value.
No, ma'am, if you're gonna quote me, making 5, 6, and 7s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, average looking women feel like they don't have a chance with high value men. High value men don't typically go for average women unless they get them early. We know that. I know that. But the fact is, women like her, I call them Karen Whites. They're not black Karen. She's Karen White. Look, Google Karen White. I talked about her earlier this week. I tell you, like they don't have a chance. Ma'am. They don't have a chance.
Make 5 and 6s and 7s feel like they don't have a chance with high value.
No, ma'am. If you're gonna quote me, no, ma'am.
5, 6, and 7.
5 and 6s and 7s feel
5, 6s, and 7s make them feel like they don't have a chance with high value men. Make the 5, 6s, and 7s feel like they're just average, and they really do, have a chance with high value men, especially white ones, because they're superior to you Negroes in every way. Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
like they don't have a chance with high value.
No, ma'am, if you're gonna quote me, quote me right. I've already addressed this multiple times. I have 3 videos on it. See, what I'm getting from you is if you're a married woman of 7 years and you have children, why do you care about what's going on in the current mating and dating market? You have no dog in this fight. You have no children that are going to be, what do you care?
Well, I care about Black women, and I'm very involved in my.
So how many? So how are you helping Black women get married?
Yes, I do.
How?
By getting therapy, by suggesting.
How many of you? She loves Black women so much and Black folks so much she married a white guy. Do that. Enjoy. But it begins to get disingenuous. But she says she helps Black women by telling them to help get therapy. How often do I tell women to get therapy? Like every show? Every night? Multiple times a night? I mean, if she'd been watching even 3 of my videos, she would have known that she is so off base coming in here with this BS. But see, you need to understand there's a reason why she came in here with this BS. There's a reason. It's about to come out. How many of you assisted? How many did you assist to get married last year?
Actually, 2.
Good. I had 7, and I don't do that. And I preach all this stuff. If you watch my channel, you should really have nothing else to say other than I'm seeing a Black man over here who shows his work and walks it like he talks.
Get trolls, time them out.
It up. Instead of questioning what I say about the women I talk about, when I say a 4, 5, or 6 is an average looking woman, and average looking women don't get above average earning men after they have that money. You want an above average earning man, you better get him young. See, I'm going to just be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you, ma'am. No, ma'am. A lot of, and I don't do the racial thing, man, but it is hard to hear Black women who marry out, who have their nose in Black people's business. It's really hard to hear that, especially when you want to.
I'm still
hold
Black,
on. When I say, you so glad I said what? So glad.
No, I said that I'm still Black. You said
you're still Black. You're still Black, and here's the thing: you're still Black, and and here's the thing: you can still be Black. I didn't take your Blackness away. You're married. That's what I've been focusing on more than anything else. The things you've been talking about, picking out of my conversation, my video, you've not been correct about. You have been off base. But everything you've said has come from a preconceived or confirmation bias standpoint. You're having a conversation about a group of men that I don't address, issues that I don't cover. Over here, I tell men to pay 100% of everything, and you better be the top and the best at what you do. I'm dealing with the top 10%, trying to become top 5% of men. But sadly, instead of championing and saying, good, I'm glad to see black men doing that, they're competing out here. And it looks like this brother's doing something successful, or else he wouldn't have 1,500, 2,000 people in his channel. Why are black women coming to listen and ask me questions? Apparently, women see some value, even if you may have a problem with it. And I will tell you this, my platform, my program, and what I'm doing is working just fine to help black women and other women get what they want. If you got something for them, great. But don't pick at my stuff, because I'm not doing anything other. I can back up what I say. If you got issues other places with other black men, knock it out. But that ain't here. She was stumped right there. She was stumped right there. Well, but you were supposed to argue with me about white men. No, enjoy. Enjoy yourself, sis. I don't have a problem with it. But that's the thing. She wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. So when she wasn't ready, she had to go. She had to go to her ultimate card.
Well, okay, I guess if that's the
Why'd that do that?
to go with it.
Hold on.
What other way should I go with it, man? What other way should I go with it? You've said nothing positive. You've said nothing admirable. It's been, well, the way you talk and the way you say this and the way you said that, and you've been wrong.
Why is this doing this now?
And I said, I don't deal with those black men. And you have not yet said, you know what? I didn't know that.
Hold on. Don't know why I just did this, but I want you guys to hear the rest of this. So, how we doing? We're doing well, including Switcher. Yeah, there we go. I can do my research. You have to go with it, ma'am. What other way should I go with it? But that ain't here.
Well, okay, I guess if that's the way that you're going to go with this.
What other way should I go with it, ma'am? What other way should I go with it? You've said nothing positive. You've said nothing admirable. It's been, well, the way you talk and the way you say this and the way you said that, and you've been wrong. And then you talk about the way black men are, and I said, I don't deal with those black men. And you have not yet said, you know what? I didn't know that. Maybe I should go back and do my research. You have not once said, maybe I'm off base.
And what exactly do you think that I'm off base about?
See, that's what I got. Well, and she was out of gas. She was completely out of gas, on the ropes. And the fact that you're a married woman with children and you shouldn't even be in this space. You should be off with your husband and children, living your life. This has nothing to do with you.
I mean, well, it's the internet.
I asked you if it's that important, ma'am. If it's that important, I would think if it's that important, the time you spent watching this show and even calling me, you should be doing it with your leader. And I said leader for a very good reason. I led her right up to the edge. I use the word leader for a reason, because she's married to a high value white man, right? And if you're going to run something past a guy on the internet and it's supposed to be so important, and you work with black women in your life and daily life, and you help them get therapy and this and that, that obviously you should, if you're going to talk with a lower value black man, you should at least run it by your husband, your leader. I mean, it's important, right? You haven't run it across your husband, it ain't that important.
And
Yes.
why would I?
Why
That
would you run
doesn't
it
even
across
make
him? Because
sense.
he's your husband. Apparently his word should matter more than some strange guy you don't know. Brain fart right here. See, you're a busybody.
Well, I guess that's the difference between
No.
a high value Caucasian man and a high value black man, because I don't have to run every little conversation I have
Well, then
through him.
then congratulations, you are winning. You have Waldo.
Fatality.
She was expecting me to lose it, and I'm like, congratulations, you're winning. See, she was supposed to hit me with she had the low joker. See, she went. It's like when a racist person calls you the N word in public. They've launched their biggest bomb. That's it. There is nothing over that word. That's it. That's all they got. They can't go any further. The N word is the Moab. And if you can stand up to it, they got nothing else. So she comes into a black man trying to bait me into arguments that I don't deal with because I'm not those kind of guys. I don't fear white men. Congratulations. Not arguing with her. And everything that she says she does for black women, I do it better. And she's even here to witness it. So she had to pull out her joker, her high joker that she goes around using to try to make other black men in her presence feel bad, feel inadequate. Except you brought your white man to me because I'm better than him. Remember, she brought her white man over here to get cologne advice and suit advice. So apparently I'm better than him. I don't go to your husband, and we got no problems. So she's gonna pull out her joker because and if you ever played spades, she just knew she was about to take this book. I'm gonna just take that book. Oh, you got the king of spades, you got the ace of spades. Oh, I got the joker. She reached out to like she was about to take that book. And then when I went ahead and said, well, congratulations, you won, you found Waldo, I dropped the high joker on her, and she was just like, if you've never seen the face of somebody playing spades and they thought they had a book one because they came in with a joker and you cut it with the high joker and you thought your partner had it, the person behind you had it, and I've been baiting you into it and I cut that book and take it from you and I set your ass because you were counting on that book, but I knew I was playing you, not the hand. Oh, yeah. Yep. She just thought she was just going to get into it. Nah, baby girl. Congratulations, ma'am. You've won with your high value white man. Live your best life, sis. Go be the example.
You're being very defensive, and I'm not
No,
even
I'm not
trying.
being oh, and then she tried to use the typical. Did you go back to the playbook, shame, guilt, insult, and the need to be right? Did you try to go back and gaslight? Girl, you like 4-5 steps behind. Prime time over here. Change the game. Change the way the game is played over here. You're still playing, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, Packer football. We all the way over here and running, shooting, trying, West Coast offense over here. You behind.
Come
I'm
off
just
as
tired of your
if
I'm just tired of your shit. You got nothing. And you came over here with
what I have is
you came over here with pretense. Take your ass back to Swirl Nation, where your arguments about black men being dusty and underperforming will do, because I don't give a shit what your white man is producing for you. He can't hold a candle to me. And if he can, good for him. I still got my shit together, and so do a lot of my guys over here. See, that's what these swirl. See, sadly, Many of you brothers have never checked these swirl regret swirlers, and they've never had to sit back and have somebody say, I don't fear your man. I don't fear none of this stuff. Carry your ass on back over there and enjoy. Because over here, we are great and doing better. And see, she had, and if she was doing so good and everything was so great, why is she over here? Because the next part is the important part. Please pay attention. I'm going to let it run unedited because I need you to get the entire context. This is the swirl regret. I am not talking about people who actually marry interracially and are happy and are loving their lives. See, those people you never hear from. They don't bring up racial. They stay away from racial politics because they know it's a hot button issue, third rail. I'm not saying everyone that swirls regrets. I'm saying these regretful swirlers, the ones that are in them and probably went too soon, or the ones, oh yeah, here we go. Chicks like her don't get. I don't give a shit about I'm not intimidated by your white man. I beat white men my entire career. You're a nosy busybody. You're a married woman. I need you guys to ask yourself a question. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for calling in. And I hope your husband hears this conversation because his wife is representing him exceptionally well. But I'll let you go ahead and have the last word. Oh, she dropped off. I mean, do you not get the nerve of this? You see? There are some black women that are so stuck on black men being less than. They cannot accept that black men can be capable, competent, and the things they say they are. They're going to find a way to make you not be what it is. And she showed it. I pushed her, and she finally gave it up. Well, I guess that's the difference between a black man and a white man. That's what you wanted to say. Apparently you ain't too goddamn happy with your white man because you over here watching the black man the entire time. We get it. We get it. We know what's going on, sis. If Rocky was taking care of business, you wouldn't be sneaking over watching your Godfather. Ooh, hurts, don't it? I swear to goodness. Pretty Brown, did you see that? I was supposed to be like, oh, well, no. Well, no. I don't deal with that. Mm-hmm. Portia K. That will probably be the next Seattle Karen. But my husband is white. My husband is white. Why are you pulling me over? My husband is white. My dad is white. Our children, my husband is white. Me and Brad is cool. You called him Rocky. That's right. Rocky couldn't hold a candle to the Godfather. She said it, didn't she? I've been watching your channel. You came over here for a cologne video, but you stayed for the sexual chocolate. You came over here and said, ooh, look, there's a tall, attractive, well-dressed, well-presented black man. Ooh, and he also talks about these things, speaks intelligently, makes his point, takes countervailing positions, handles himself well, has women calling in, but you still want to find fault with the black man. And then you want to throw your white man up in my face. Sweetie, you can't throw your husband in my face when you on my phone. That's the first thing I said. What does your husband have to say about it? Well, I don't talk to him about this. Yeah, because he would be upset or kind of looking at you. He would feel some kind of way to say, why are you listening to a single black man and black people talk about stuff? Why aren't you in there making macaroni art with the kids? Why are you listening to this stuff? You my wife. Why are you doing this? He might have some questions for you. You think she listens to her husband in front of me? You think she listens to her husband in front of me, expat? You think she listens to Rocky in front of me? Hey, Rocky. No, Bullwinkle ain't listening to Rocky in front of me. She's sneaking off to the bathroom in the car. You know, when she run over there to go get us some pop, you know, when she goes for her black moments, she listens to me, got me on, you know, downloaded on YouTube, and when she get the Popeyes and go get her secret two-piece, a secret, you know, we get it. Yeah, we get it. Pledge Delta, Delta, Delta. I got no problem with it. You went from being I'm about to cook your ass. I got no problem that you went from being a sugar baby and having your white husband fall in love with you. Congratulations. Stacy, I'm blue. You're out of your damn mind. Either that or you don't hear very well. She never compared black men to white men. Everybody stop and look at Stacy on. See, you've tried too hard to look for foment dissension. Now you've stepped in it too much. Starting this segment, she directly compared a high value Caucasian man to a high value black man. I'll wait for you to go ahead and retract and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Nothing else required. You're wrong. She did. So please retract that statement and issue an apology. But you know, that's not the way it typically goes. And she tried to turn my show into what it wasn't. Why are you telling that women that they can't, can a woman be a sugar baby and get a husband? Never said they couldn't. See, everything that she tried to make a problem, I never said there was an issue, because it's not. She was trying to find a fight. You miss black men. I understand. You miss black men. And you may have sugared, but you got your sugar, you got your, you got your S and H, but you really wanted that brown sugar. I get it. We understand. You got the white sugar and it's sweet, but you wanted that brown sugar because it's sweet and it's better for you. It's natural versus that processed sugar you got. I understand. That's why it's addictive. You see, that brown sugar, it don't dissolve in your liquid as quick as the white sugar, called the solubility property. The solubility is different. The KSP, look it up, because some black men did go to school. The solubility product is different for white sugar versus, brown sugar. So you got to work with brown sugar a little bit more. It's bigger. It's not as small. White sugar is smaller. Brown sugar, much more girth, a little bit thicker. So you got to stir and work with that brown sugar a little bit more. But here's the thing, and it doesn't necessarily give you the quick pop that white sugar gives you. That initial quick pop, because but that brown sugar, it goes in the solution better and it lasts longer and it's more fulfilling. But you went the high fructose route and you got your picture, but apparently that white sugar is not fulfilling you. So you had to find a way to get to that brown sugar. Ooh. Well, that's Big Beer Business. Well, he's married. There's Bowtie Fragrance Guy. He's married. Ooh, there's a black guy on fragrance. 11 million fragrance guys, but you had to come over to my channel and did not stick with fragrance. Had to stick your nose over and over here and just be sitting over here. And it wasn't even good enough just to watch. That brown sugar started tasting good, Ebony. Ooh, I missed that brown sugar. Yeah, this S&H Pure Cane White Sugar, it works. But it's not quite like that black sugar, that brown sugar I remember. So much so that she's like, ooh, I gotta taste it. So let me call him. Let me call him and then contrive a conflict so we can argue. So then I can feel like I'm back there. And then we can go have hot plantation sex. That's what her and Rocky, not her and me. In the Balboa Mansion or whatever. Whatever it is, ma'am, enjoy. Because that's what she said. I guess that's the benefit of marrying a white man. I don't have to address it. I I couldn't have made better. Oops. Even covered again in the video yesterday. The comparison for a high value Caucasian man to a high value white man. That's what she really wanted to come in here and say. Hey, black man, I'm married to I'm a sugar baby, and I'm married to a white man. He's high value. All right. Aren't you gonna get mad about that? No. That's really what tripped her up. Content for this thing. I must be doing something right because you are working with me. You are giving me content gold. Erica, did you not hear her? That's the benefit of marrying a white man. Well, Iggy, I must just hold my black manhood as inferior. She married a white guy. We lost her, guys. We lost her. We lost her to Waldo. That's another good one. Over there to the white guys, because we don't build shit. Fuck! If we were only better men, we could keep our black women over here and she wouldn't be going over to Rocky. She'd stay over here with us. Crystal and Kerrison was right. Even though we've never seen her husband, and even though all these swirling women always claim to be so goddamn married, you never see none of their white ass husbands. You never see them. Never see any of these little towhead children, and you are always in Negro spaces. I don't go over to swirl spaces, and I got no problem with it. But why are you swirl nation, women who marry out, congratulations to you, coming back over here? Well, because I'm still black. Not making that comment like you just made. You have forfeited your black card with that last comment. See, Seattle Karen thought she had to get out of jail free Negro card. But my husband's white. And she found out quick from Carlos Dillard that no, you still white. That woman actually said, I'm still black. But yet you're going to attempt to pull racial rank with your white man? Ma'am, you have just made me about $1,000. Your 10-minute segment is going to make me at least $1,000 next month. Actually, probably $1,000 in the next week. I'm going to chop and screw that piece of content up, and I'm just going to let you talk. Liz, they think it's a big deal. I can't worry about white guys. I can compete. I can compete just fine. And unlike what you tried to paint me, I don't hate black women. I don't have a problem with black women. And I will say this, 7 black women got married, 7 who told me they credit me for them getting married last year. I'm a matchmaker. I'm an image consultant and a fragrance guy. Imagine what could happen if I actually decided to do that. I'm sorry, Cassandra. I didn't mean to. Go ahead. How are you? All right. So that is what happened last night. That is what happened last night. And to all the people who are probably going to come over here from Swirl Nation, I don't have a problem with Crystal and Kerrison. So if you're coming over here trying to think somebody's going to be talking about swirlers and insulting them and throwing insults, and you got the wrong channel. That ain't how I roll. So if that's all you came over here for, to come over to see if I was going to insult Crystal and Kerrison or anybody who's pink pill or something like that, you ain't going to get that from me. You can watch the show, but you're not going to get that. Number 1. Number two. I wonder, is this what I wanted to? Is this what it is? Hold on. Stacy Ann, we bid you adieu. It's been fun, it's been real, but it has not been real nor fun. Go find attention elsewhere. You gets none here. None here, none here, none here. So, as we bid another attention troll into the wild blue yonder. Another will come along. But here's the thing. Again, I have no problem with swirling. I don't have a problem with interracial dating. Do what you like. You guys know my position. Make yourself the highest value man or woman possible, and then the world is your oyster. Pick what's best for you. But see, that person who came in yesterday, that was some swirl regret. You can tell that woman is one of these kind of women that she's been married for 7 years, got kids. Go look up toe-headed and you'll see what it means. You know, some brothers are educated. Some brothers actually are high value. And see, Gina, Brad, what I'm trying to let you guys know is, remember I did that broadcast, 5 things young women are told to fear when it comes to high value men? That you're going to be a Stepford wife, that they're going to abuse you, that they're going to cheat on you, that they're undercover gay, or they're going to leave you for a white woman. See, no, you cannot be a high value black man and it be all right. There has to be something wrong with you. See, you cannot be a high value black man and it be all right. Because what that means is, if there are actually high value black men that are out there and they're decent, solid citizens, then that means these swirlers these swirling women who say that there are no good black men out there and say they had to swirl because they couldn't find black men, you prove that to be false. You exist. Your and my very existence undercuts their argument. So they have to find something wrong with you and I. Don't focus on me. It's just my channel. But there are tons of black, successful, high value men out there. And they're not abusers and cheaters and gay and all these other kind of things. No, 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 no. You just couldn't qualify for one or couldn't find one. Or, like you hear, I've heard this on YouTube often, these women who swirl, meaning they go marry a white man, marry a non-black man, no problem with it, have children with them, and then subsequently they divorce, and then all of a sudden they become super pro-black. And then after becoming super pro-black, they all of a sudden start talking about all the things wrong with these racial issues. And you got to admit that only black women can do this. If it were a black man, no one would, they'd be laughed out of the conversation. A pro-black man married to a white woman with white kids, you'd be laughed out of the conversation. They'll take your money, but you can't say nothing. But I even listen, and it's funny that you accept the premise, and he's like, well, why didn't you just marry a black guy? You picked too soon. See, isn't it funny, gentlemen, that many black women for whom this applies want black men to sit around and understand that ADOS-born black people have a unique story, and we've never had a chance to heal and all this other kind of stuff. Basically, it comes down to work with a sister. Because one of my next videos is, I don't want to act this way, or I don't want to be this way. There are plenty of black women out there who know they have issues and they don't want to act this way and they don't want to be this way. And there is hope for you. We got to talk about it in a separate video. And those kind of women want to be with black men. But black men are told to work with those kind of women, but black women are told not to do any kind of work with black men. So when you got brothers that say, forget it, okay, I'll accept it. And they go out and make themselves a high value black man, having to work 3 times as hard to be half as good. You exist now. You exist now, and they can't say you don't exist. American Enterprise Institute study Black men making it in America verifies that 51% of Black men are single and childless. 64% are in the middle class. You can't say Black men are busted, dusty, and ain't. No. 64% of Black men are solidly middle class, and over half have no children. The stats, the figures, the data, the statistics are out there. The 2020 census is about to drop, and you're going to see the marital rates, the divorce rates. You're going to see that things over the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years have been painted about Black men are just simply not accurate. So if that's the case, go back to 3-4 weeks ago when you had a woman on and say, one of the reasons I'm not married is because can we look at all the stats? And I said, well, no, if we're going to look at the stats, we're going to look at them all. See, that has to be the justification. It can't be the good Black men are out there. So either you don't exist or you really are a liar or you go a cheater or whatever, because therein lies the rub is why she actually had to swirl. Those particular ones, the sour swirlers. But those are the ones that always seem to come back and have their toe or in the mix in the Black areas and stirring the pot and always talking about Black men. And I say swirl regret because just like those women who will tell you openly that they would have not married a white man and had children, had they known what they know later on, that means you married too soon. Argument can be made for that. Did I get married too soon? Did you pull the trigger too soon? Brad came along, made you an offer, and you took it. You took it because you didn't think you'd find Keith, or you didn't think Keith existed, or you didn't think Keith was worth it. But when you see Keith and he's worth something, then all of a sudden there's a problem. There are these white widows. White widows. Today is a good day for a white widow. Billy Idol made a song called White Wedding. White widows. You white widows. White widows who are pro-Black crack me up. And widow not because the husband died, because the white marriage died. But I don't want to get too much into that because it was at least a marriage. And they tend to not be the most virulent. The ones that tend to be the most virulent are the ones currently involved with non-Black men who, when they see Black men who are educated, competent, high value themselves, they still want to condescend to you, try to emasculate you, do everything this woman did to me yesterday to try to drag you down, to muddy you up, so she can have her white man on a pedestal. Doesn't work, sis. That's why you had no gas. That's why you were out. You're done. The people are starting to figure this out. Women like you are a joke. Black women, I don't want to hear anything about anybody else. Do not mention any contact. Look, Kelly, knock it off. Don't be talking about other content creators in my chat room. Focus on my show. I'm responsible for this show, no one else's. Understand something. Understand something. That woman yesterday should have, if she was actually happy, she should have been saying, I'm glad to see Black men doing this. Maybe I didn't see any of this in my life. I didn't know this existed. I didn't run across any brothers, but I'm so glad to see it. But no, she couldn't give me any credit. She could not give me any credit. She couldn't give you guys any credit. There has to be something wrong with us. That's why I say, do you ever notice how sour these former sugar babies are? These sweet and sour. I mean, just sweet and yet sour. At the end of the day, a lot of these women who married out and then ended the relationship found out that white don't automatically equate to right. That the Black men they've been cautioned, that told didn't exist, do exist. The Black men they said that weren't out there, they're out there and in abundance. And guess what? You know they're in abundance, especially when you come. It's funny that you'll hear a segment of the conversation getting mad at these very Black men when they decide to marry out. So let's get it right. You can't win as a high value Black man. Either you look like the kind of man that would marry a white woman. Okay, you either that, And if you try to kick it with a sister, you're corny, lame, goofy, and everything else, so you can't win that way. She go get with a white guy, and she wants to talk shit about you, and she should be happy. You still can't win. And if you choose to marry out yourself, then you're a sellout. Black men, stop feeling guilty about any of this. It ain't your fault. These people, this is not your fault. These people have problems. Problems that aren't your responsibility. And I'm so glad more and more black men are starting to say, no. Live your best life. Enjoy. I got no heat, no smoke. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to tune you out. If you got some kind of issue going on, some regret, you get nothing over here. Go back over to your house. Go ask Rocky. Go talk to him about that. That's the man you chose to marry. Don't bring that mess over here. And women, sisters, I will tell you, when you see women like this, if you're in their presence, no, they're not your helper. They're not on your side. They'll lord their marriage in your face. They'll always talk about their husband while they're helping you remain toxic like they are, so you'll never get married, so they can feel like they're better than you. At the end of the day, swirlers, no problem with you. Crystal and Kerrison, no problem. I've never had any problem with Crystal and Kerrison. We never crossed swords. I got no reason to. See, men who are competitive don't have any reason to feel inferior. And the reality is, black women, there are black men that can compete and can win are out there. Stop listening to the propaganda. Of the women telling you how horrible they are. When I asked, what do you have to tell women, black women who want something? There's never an answer. It's always more and how you talk to them, how you say this, how you say that. You notice, have I ever been able to get anyone to say, you know what? Not bad. It's always something wrong. But hey, maybe I got it all backwards. Maybe I'm just, fooling myself. White wedding. Yeah, Billy Idol. Yeah, man. White widow. I mean, have you ever heard any of these swirl folks that sound happy? Well, I guess that's the benefit of being married to a Caucasian high-value man. All right. So you say. That's the benefit of being married to one. Well, then, la-dee-da. Enjoy your Caucasian white man. But apparently, there's a difference between brown sugar and S&H. Apparently, there's something different. Apparently, there is. But, like I always say, I could be wrong. Let's talk about it. If you call into the show, what you're going to need to do is make sure you mute all. You're going to need to shut down everything. Only have Zoom open. Only have Zoom open. I don't want your YouTube channel open, TV, radio, nothing. Zoom only. If we're going to talk, we're going to talk. I don't want, and if you're looking in the chat, if you have YouTube open, looking in the chat room, I'm going to hang up on you. Keep it cool, keep it respectful. When I start talking, please don't try to overtalk me. All right, here we go. Join the show. I like to hear from young women, young black women in particular, who've been told that, the only way to get a high-value man is to get a non-black man. I love to hear it because here's the net of it. To the ladies last night, they keep asking, where's Waldo? Here he is. Here's what Waldo is. Where's Waldo? Been right there in front of your face all along. There are plenty of Waldos just like me out there. If you don't have one, that's on you. Waldo exists. He even got glasses. Mine are better, but here he is. Here's Waldo. There's Waldo. So if you love black women and you want to help black women, then if you love black so much, make black babies, make black families. You need a black man for that though. There's Waldo. Who want to talk to Waldo? Somebody want to talk to Waldo? I would like to talk to Waldo. You can ask Waldo, like, where do I find Waldo? What does Waldo want? Why can't I find Waldo? Because you've been told Waldo doesn't exist. But yeah, but see, his name's not Waldo. It's Warren. Waldo's over there. Warren's over here. Waldo, Warren. Waldo, Warren. Waldo, Warren. Waldo is tired of you trying to pedestalize him and talk crap about black men. That's why she couldn't talk to her husband, because Rocky might have been one of them dudes like, I'm tired of hearing you talk crap about black men. We've been married for 7 years and got kids. Let it go. But it means something because she really wanted to be with Warren. Probably ain't had that much passion in quite a while. Where's Waldo? There he is. Hi, Waldo. Hi, Waldo. What's going on, Warren? What's up? Warren's over here, baby. We're going to need to get the likes up and drop and break and run them donations. Hello?
Hello, Kevin.
Hey, let me make sure you're in there. Yay, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. So I want to talk to you about the swirling thing for a little bit. That's okay.
Go ahead.
So I don't really think swirling is what it seems to be. I don't think that they're, or I think that the intent is something different. I think that most women, unfortunately in this case, some black women, what they're doing is that they're encouraging other women to swirl for the sake of increasing their own sexual marketplace value. Basically, they're trying to create value through scarcity.
Explain.
Okay, so let's just say, you have a situation where there's 10 black women and 10 black men, which means that everybody would pair off and there is no aggressive push. However, if you could convince 5 of those black women to swirl, then you'll have 2 boys for every girl, which means that the remaining women would get a man of greater value.
Right.
They'll have greater options, better pick. So I think that that's what it's really coming down to, just eliminating competition for black men.
I cannot say you're wrong on that. That's why I ultimately said none of these swirl women, these regretful swirlers, have anything to show for what they're doing other than their win. They can't help can't help anyone else win, but they can win. Let me go ahead and see what's going on. Did you have anything else you wanted to include? Because I got some more folks in there.
Yeah, just right quick.
Okay,
so the problem with this tactic is that, no worries. At the other venue, there's also 10 non-black men and 10 non-black women. So when you send those 5 women over there, they're going into a market where it's now 15 women and 10 men.
Right.
So they're actually harming themselves in that way. They're creating a hostile marketplace for the ones that they're encouraging to swirl.
Boy, now you just did too much math for them. Too much math. We're gonna have to break it down and put it. Yeah. Isn't there a scroll about this somewhere? You need to make a scroll about this. But all right, man.
It's in one of the scrolls, but yeah, go for it.
All right, fam. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room and let some other folks come through.
Okay.
Okay, peace. So let me go ahead and under Jay Sylvester. Unmute Jay. Hello. Hey, what's going on?
How you doing? I just had to call in because today I was riding with my sisters and we were talking about an affluent neighborhood. But when I said affluent, my sister automatically said white. And I think we need to realize how ingrained it is for us, or for some of us, to associate being white with a certain status
Mm-hmm.
and not seeing ourselves in that arena,
Mm-hmm.
or not being able to be a part of it, you know?
I have a video that I'm going to do. I'm still trying to work on the verbiage, but the basic premise is I don't want to act this way or I don't want to think this way. I'm quite sure your sister. You said your sister.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure that she probably even noticed she was doing that.
She didn't, because we had a whole conversation about it afterwards, because I kept saying, no, I mean affluent people.
Right. But I'm quite sure she's probably like, God damn, I don't want to be this. I don't want to think
No.
like this because this is, and see, that's, I think if more black women can actually start being honest with themselves and say, I don't like going through life this way, acting this way, thinking this way,
Right.
behaving, feeling triggered, then we can get to a
Mm-mm.
place to where maybe somebody can actually be happy with what's left of their life, other than acting
Right.
like there's nothing wrong. But
But it's an ego thing.
well, but see,
Having to admit we wrong is kind of hard. It's kind of hard.
well,
It's
but
kind
you
of
know what, Jay? Dying covered in cats is even harder.
right. Right.
I mean, COVID. See, if this pandemic has taught us nothing else, is look how
Mm.
folks behave when they just had 30 to 90 days by themselves.
Right. Oh my God. I was talking to my sister about that. I was like, this time by people by themselves is going to cause transformation for the better or for the worse. People are going to, it's going to shuffle some things, move things around.
Well,
People are going to start thinking.
well, think about it. If you're in your 20s or 30s, you're still young. You haven't had any real health challenge or anything. Think about in your 50s or 60s, and
Hmm.
when life takes stuff from you, ain't nobody to check on you. Yeah, people are starting to look. There's a reason these shows are getting the kind of views they are, and we got to start
Right.
having these conversations because one, I understand. Even though I say the world doesn't owe you understanding, black men are more likely to listen to it than anybody else because we grew up in it. What black men have yet to hear in mass from black women is accountability.
Right.
Accountability, vulnerability, and a good faith spirit of doing something better.
Right.
I can't say what the world would be like if any of those three things happened. Shahrazad Ali tried to start a conversation 30 plus years ago and got screamed down. Maybe
Um,
COVID has made a situation and some time has allowed for maybe a more thoughtful part of this conversation. But what else do you have for us before going?
Hopefully.
Anything else you want to
Um,
put in there?
Not particularly. I've swirled,
Okay.
but I never really liked the term,
Mm-hmm.
because, I mean, I've met a lot of color struck people, and they're not pretty. They're stuck. Like somewhere they're stuck,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't admitted something to themselves. I remember talking to this guy who only liked white girls, and I was like, okay, that's your preference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that, because
Mm-hmm.
I like to dip everywhere else too.
Right.
But uh, he said that, I mean, we were talking about, he said, oh, no, I just like them. And I say, well, what do you think is the issue? And well, he really started digging. He was like, well, my mom is a certain type of way, and my sister is too, and I don't want that. So I mean, white girls are like the opposite of that. I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. So there's always a deeper issue I've
Right.
found when talking to people about why they are strictly just in one group or another.
And what you bring up a good point, and I don't think a lot of black women understand when they say stuff like this, Jay. I don't have any problem with being cooperative or submissive or anything like
Mm.
that to my man. To my
Yeah, I said
man.
that. I
So
said
yeah,
that.
yeah,
No
but
lie.
but then you look at that young brother, and the reason he is making a choice in his romantic life
Hmm.
is not because of the women in his romantic life. He's
Right.
making a choice because of women, black women, in his non-romantic life.
Right.
So when you say,
I started noticing that.
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go
Go ahead,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I started noticing how um I started seeing submissiveness differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But also in that I was like, okay, how do I practice it? So when I'm at work, and I work with younger men, and like there's a range of people. But when I'm working with younger men and they say something that is correct, and I was saying something that was not, I'll just say yes, sir. And it's not about age.
Right.
It's about just like acknowledging that yes, you were correct, and I'm gonna follow you because you were correct, and we're not gonna push this.
Right.
We're gonna go with this.
I bet you they
Because
were
you were correct.
shocked as hell when they're like, did she say yes and then sir? He was like
I have to catch myself, but I try
Right.
to catch myself.
Well, cool, Jay. I appreciate that. Remind me, we're gonna have to have that and part of that conversation of I don't want to act. I don't want to be this way. That's gonna be the
Right.
show tomorrow. I don't want to be this way. All right, thanks, Jay.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Jay, everybody. Look, man. I see the 3 people in the chat room. Look, you can't just come down on. You can't just come down. Hold on. You can't just come down on people the entire time. Okay. You gotta give. If people feel there's no hope, there's no incentive for change. You may not feel like this, but there are men out there who are willing to. They want to just be with black women. ADOS black women on top of that, in the middle of all the feminism and Me Too and everything else, just ain't nothing like a black woman to them. So they are far more willing to put up with some things that maybe you won't. And the thing is, I want for those men to get cooperative, submissive, feminine helpmeets. I don't want them to go down because they believe so much in their ethnic identity to be penalized for it. So black women who feel the same way need to feel like that there are men over here who will be willing to work with them once they admit they have an issue. Look here, man. In alcohol and drug counseling, one of the first thing you have to do is admit you're powerless over alcohol or drugs. You cannot go past that. You got to admit. And ADOS black people, FBA black people, I don't remember all the names, but you know what it is. It's a black conversation night. So to my non-black followers, you catch a different show because we got to have these conversations. And unfortunately, we're going to have to just do it on what we have. We can't do it behind closed doors. But for the black men who want black women, I want you to get the best. I want you to get somebody who realizes they have something special in you that you are willing to deal with their idiosyncrasies and vice versa. I want black women who are willing to say, I don't want to die this way. I want them to have some hope. There's no reason for anybody to do anything if there's no hope. Now, I hope you have, and the people in the call queue, I hope you have a swirl story. Because I really don't want to, I know this topic is going to trigger, and I don't want people just going off the rails. We're trying to do some good work over here. And I know for a fact when people see this title, they're going to come in here guns a blazing, and we do nothing any good by just going off the rails. At the end of the day, Jay's right. I mean, let's say you were born on the West Coast, Seattle or LA or San Francisco, where you're around a lot of non-black people. I was born in the Midwest or the South. Race is very different here than it is there. We have to I believe we have to give each other room to make mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, gonna make a whole lot more. That's what keeps me grounded and keeps me humble. And in order to have a relationship with another human being, you're going to have that. And there's going to have to be something bigger than just you two individuals. That's what helps people stay together. Humans work for a common goal that's bigger than themselves. All right. Nobody's going to be submissive at 30. No, they're not. I don't know. No, you can't get that. Expat, who's talking submissive at 30K? See, and let's talk about this too. I've had brothers get upset with me. Say, man, what are you talking about? $350,000 a year, man. Don't nobody make that kind of money. And the average black man don't do. An average black man, I'm an image consultant by profession. I don't work with average. I work with my target market is the top 10% of men and the top 20% of women. The top 20% of women want men in the top 10%. I don't make judgments and say people out of that are bad or this or that. It's just ask yourself, if you had a business, whatever it is, let's just say you are an electrician or you were a plumber, HVAC technician, a roofer. Your target market is not going to be apartment renters. You need homeowners and those kind of people who own a property. A person needs an image consultant. They're not going to need an image consultant if they just have an average job. And see, over here, we have to talk about rank and socioeconomic things. And this is a choice. I don't begrudge anybody coming over here watching this content. Even if it's not your world, come back, watch and just see. That's what reality TV is supposed to be for, right? You're not a rapper or a hip hop star, so you get to watch their lives, right? Well, you accept reality TV when it's actors, actresses, and entertainers. How about you accept a form of reality TV when it's socioeconomically the business class, the bourgeoisie, as the French would have called it back in the day? How about we do that? But no one's trying to look down upon anybody. So which women in here looks like a $350,000 earner? Well, Marcus, I gotta be honest. Asking that question, it will be better coming from a $350,000 earner, because the way that question's asked, it's almost like a dig. I mean, if you're a $350,000 earner looking for one, that's different. See, that's why I gave the standards of I don't use 7 when I do evaluations, but I use 7 for most people to understand what the baseline is. That's why I said Thelma of Good Times. There were people who told me, you're crazy. Thelma on Good Times is the 10. Well, no, she's not. She was cute, pretty. I mean, she's pretty, but she's not a classic beauty. She's a attractive black woman, but she's not on the level of a Dorothy Dandridge, Halle Berry, Diane Carroll, that kind of woman. Just not. So understand something. There are men who do make $300,000 plus who have average looking wives. And I've said it, more likely than not, they met those women when they were younger and they grew together. So we got to ask ourselves a question. If you are a high value man, high earning man, you know the kind of, you know you have more resources on your side to make it more likely that you can get the kind of woman who has the look that you want to, and vice versa. Let it be. I make $200K hypergamy. They still looking for $500K. Well, that's fine. I will say this: one, where's the $200K? If the $200K is in New York City, if it's in Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, then you got something. I gotta admit, I don't meet many women in those areas who are looking for men making $500,000. Not unless they're industry chicks. $30,000 is not my audience. No, it's not. I mean, you don't want my opinion, but $30,000, I mean, that's $15 an hour. That just tells me you're not working enough job. I'm not working enough hours. But let's get back into it. Understand something. Swirl or regret. There should be no regret if you married out, if you dated out. If you're out, you should be out. But you got to admit, you got to wonder why are people who are out throwing so many shots? And when I've looked at some of that content, they were always talking about the dregs of the black community. They weren't talking about the college educated or certified or union working certified black men. Why? Because black men like that undercut their argument. See, if you decide to marry out or date out because that's generally your pick, you're a happy, abundance-minded person. But if you're doing it because there ain't nothing else, what you're really saying is, I really wish I could have had a black man, but I had to settle for Waldo. Give you an example. Is BGS in here? BGS, you'll love this one. So I was on Instagram today, right? And I said, this is how a lot of these regretful swirlers move, in my opinion. Imagine if you were involved in a car accident and you got a huge settlement, but they only allowed you to spend the money on a vehicle. Okay? You couldn't take the money, bank it. You had to spend it all on a vehicle. Let's say you had $120,000. Now let's say you like a BMW M6 and you like it with the ice blue paint package with the peanut butter brown interior with the sport package and everything else like that. And that's what you have your eye set on. But yet you go to the dealerships and they don't have any in stock. You contact BMW and they say we sold out of that model. Okay? You can't get it. It's gone. What are you going to do? You still got that 120. Then you go look at another color, another M6, maybe white with a different color package. You look at Mercedes or Audi or whatever. And then you choose to buy a Mercedes 5 Series, black, whatever. And you love this big body. Okay? And you drive it off the lot and it's yours outright. And everywhere you drive, people can see you in your new big body. You drive it around, you go to work, people say, oh, wow, that's dope, and you loving it. But after a while, it always happens. The new car smell wears off. The new wears off. When you first had the car, you washing it every 6 hours, wiping off spots and shit. Don't eat or don't drink in your car, but eventually you allow yourself to have a coffee. Or next thing you know, you drive it down eating Chick-fil-A. I mean, come on. We've seen this happen. Then after about a year, 18 months into it, you get a neighbor that moves in next door. BGS, you get a neighbor that moves in next door, right? And your neighbor, when you see him going to work that next morning, BGS, now they backing out of their driveway that M6 with that ice blue package, with the peanut butter interior, with the sports package, the very kind of car you said you wanted. It's even got the upgraded sound system, the wheels. I mean, maybe it has a few things are slightly different, but you've been looking for that car. It's your dream car. It's what you always wanted. And you backing your car out, you automatically turn over. Now, your big body goes, what you looking at? Who you looking at? Whoa, I thought you liked me. Your big body's gonna be like, wait, whoa, hey, man, hey, thought you liked me. Hey, I'm Waldo, here I am. Big body, remember you love me, you just looking to the side. You feeling some kind of way. But then you drive on off to work and then you get home and you just find yourself, every time you drive into your neighborhood, you feel slightly different. You used to couldn't wait to get home to come see, park your car and wash it. But next thing you know, every time your neighbor drives up, you're looking at the car and looking at the car and looking at the car. Then the neighbor leaves it in the driveway one day, and then you run out to the mailbox, BGS. You know how they do. BGS, you've seen this. You know how they do. The neighbor got the car in the driveway, so you already picked up the mail, but you got to walk out to the mailbox, and then instead of going directly to your mailbox, you just kind of swerve into the driveway to get kind of close to the car, just kind of see on the inside. Get to the mailbox, and you sitting there looking through all the junk mail that you left in there on purpose. So you have a reason to be out there, and you're looking at the car, looking at the tread marks and everything else. Like, damn, he even got a dope license plate. It ain't a vanity plate, but it's like something cool that, only the gods could make. Sick BMW or, like BMW 111. Like, man, he had to pay for that. Nope, it just happened. Then you walk by and you're like, damn, man, even the car, the wheels just are sparkling, they looking wet, and the windows rolled down and you can smell the vanilla aroma air freshener. Or even better, they got like La Lobo Santal 26, vent freshener. It's like, damn, everything about this motherfucker is cool. And what happens is your neighbor has noticed that you peeking in the car all the time. And your neighbor comes and says, hey neighbor, how you doing? My name's Warren. Hi, Warren, how you doing? Come on over. And Warren lets you come on over and sit in the car. I love your big body. Yeah. You wanted one like this? Cool. Why don't we spend it let's take it around the neighborhood. Yeah, and you feeling, and it feels even better because you never got a chance to ride in one. You saw the pictures and everything else, but you never had a chance to ride in one. And everything about it is dope. The windows roll up, and it's like you got on noise canceling AirPods. It's like you've been in the cockpit. I mean, the air is just right, not too cold, not too hot, just right. The seat feel just like and the seat's kind of like massaging every little, and you're just like, oh, this is heaven. Your car sitting in the driveway getting mad. Then as you leave, you never look at your car quite the same way. And in your mind, after you ask their neighbor, hey man, I gotta ask you, I wanted one of those, but I called around and they told me it didn't exist. And then he tells you, well, yeah, but that's only here. I ordered mine directly from the BMW and I waited. Or he tells you, I just went down to Houston and I found someone selling one in Houston. I went down to a dealership in Houston. Whatever it is, he just did a little work, waited a little bit, and got what he wanted. Then you're going to have to sit back and realize, you know what? I picked too soon. I pulled the trigger too soon. I didn't think they existed. What I wanted ain't supposed to be out there. So I chose from what's on the market and I got it and I was happy. But then I saw what I really wanted. And now I got to live with the fact that I picked too soon. Swirl regret. Because when you run into black men who are on the level, doing what they're supposed to be doing, carrying themselves like they're supposed to be carrying it, CIA, confident, intelligent, and assertive, out here being the bag, bold, ambitious, generous, having 100% mentality, making no excuses, taking no shorts, understanding the world don't owe them anything, getting their head right, putting in the 60 hours minimum that's required to get out there and compete and win, and going out there and able to get what they want out of the world without asking for anything. You can't say that the car didn't exist. You just did not search hard enough. You picked too soon. But enjoy your big body. Still a good car. But don't say Warren ain't out there. All right, man. I'm done with this show. I can't really say much more. They're listening to me. I don't have much more to say with this show, but at the end of the day, I'll say this, man. I don't see, and if it does this, it's surely not to the level I see with these women who's supposed to be happy. That call last night was ridiculous. And then the woman that I had to go ahead and dismiss today, I could say older, over 35-year-old black women. Not all, because there's going to be the show on the next show. The question keeps coming back. Can older average women win? We're going to tackle that one. But the next show seems to be a higher priority. I don't want to be this way. At the end of the day, man, if you're human, your biggest challenge, your biggest issue is looking dead at you in the mirror. That's mine, that's everybody else's. I got too many things going on with me. To be worrying about, where Waldo is, where he ain't, all that other kind of stuff. So anyway, thank you guys for showing up. Till next time, peace. We are gone. What in the heck? That's the wrong song. There we go. We're gone. Let's do that one again. Till the next time, peace. We are gone. Join me on Patreon for things you will only see there. Mondays, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on IG for videos that you'll only see in the frat room. Show requests, video ideas, that kind of thing, email me here. You want to book your time, your session with me, go to bykevinsamuels.com. Business only. Don't send me any junk mail or sob stories. Go to the website and check out. Good night.